back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup. Sparkling Tuna Cup number 103. I'm of course your Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chats, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one all. Bienvenidos, and a big shout out as well to a dog wearing shades in the chat. Ga, papi, ga. Ay, 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 papi, ay, ay. For the 5 gifted subs for all the we're gonna get all the alerts, papi, all alerts. For the 5 gifted subs to the community, thank you so much for the support as we are jumping into our first series of the broadcast. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look back yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and the bracket is ready. And we're jumping in. And we are jumping. Sorry, I'm just dying. And we're jumping in and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak. We have the teal Protoss player. We have the teal Protoss representing Team StarCom. It is Ashbringer. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Ukrainian random player rolling and landing as Protoss. It is HackErIsTop. For Team Hokago T-Team. Let's go, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our initial PvP. Let's go. Let us go. Ashbringer is a sight to see, by the way. If you know anything about StarCraft as of late, you'll know that Ashbringer has been MIA for a very long time. It has been, what, almost 2 years? I want to say over a year. It's been over a year since he's been an active player. He has been playing every now and then in like a Brathok tournament or in like a regional tournament sort of thing. But when it comes to Open Cup and a big open online tournament representation, Ashbringer's been gone. To be fair, Ashbringer and Extra Striker as well, like they both did kind of like disappear. They both took a bit of a step back away from the game. But great to see Ashbringer once again playing in the Sparkling Tuna Cup. Fun fact, let me just double check here. The last Sparkling Tuna Cup that Ashbringer did play in was in 2024. Was that Sparkling Tuna Cup number 50? Oh, so over 50 Tuna Cup. We're at 103 right now, by the way. So over 50 Tuna Cups ago, Ashbringer did compete. Again, that was quite some time ago. Sorry, I said 50. 51. There we go. 51 was the last one he competed in. It's been a while. It's been over 50 tournaments. But here we go. Oh, it's like he never left. Proxy Robo versus Proxy Robo. Give us a Spider-Man meme, as we are going to be going for the same opener, the same build. If you remember, Ashbringer infamously in PvP, he would exclusively go Proxy Robo. Almost exclusively Proxy Robo. So last, that is something that Ashbringer was known for. HackErIsTop is going for the same. We did have initially 2 gate openers, double stalker from our 2 players as a follow-up here. Going to be double stalker after the initial double stalker that we had from Ashbringer. Oh, sorry, it was double adept into double stalker from Ashbringer. Meanwhile, double stalker into more stalkers from HackErIsTop. So our blue Protoss player here has the Mass Stalker. Meanwhile, Ashbringer has a couple of adepts sprinkled in, and both players are going for the Observer. Wait, what? Wait, what? Proxy Observer? This is okay. I'm a little bit confused. Proxy Observer first means we're going to be delaying the Immortal, bearing in mind that this Immortal is pretty far away. Like, this is a very far away proxy here for Ashbringer, compared to where his opponent has spawned in, so it's going to take quite some time to get across the map. Crazy to go Observer first, but okay, let him cook, papi, let him cook. As HackErIsTop, he's just prioritizing his own Immortal production. Already has his first, soon to be moving out. Ashbringer's being cleaned up. And he's aware that something's wrong. He sees it, the tech is missing, he knows. At this point, he should know that Nolan is coming. He's got a couple of sentries. And if HackErIsTop attempts to go up the ramp, then he will be force fielded. Ashbringer, he's ready. He's ready here at the ramp. Ready with the sentries. Shield batteries on the way. Second pylon to keep everything powered. And HackErIsTop, he goes double Immortal into a War Prism. So with that, he can reinforce, he can juggle, he can save his units. It means that he'll have an answer to the force fields. True. We'll have an answer. Goes him into the main. Ashbringer going in with 1 Immortal and 2 Adepts. That's why this is hitting earlier. Proxy's been found. Uh-oh. Okay, the proxy has been found. Drop into the main base. Does force a recall. Interesting. He does force a recall, but I'm not so sure he can save his Robo. Okay, you can see HackErIsTop is making a beeline for the Robo. Ashbringer breaking down. As he moves down to low ground. We should be able to save the Immortal. As we can even reinforce. Okay, we have reinforcements on the way coming from the right-hand side. Can we sandwich the army? Ashbringer was tied up from the pylon. Instead, it's going to be Ashbringer getting his hands on the proxy. We can go for the Robo. Yeah, you can just go for it. Wait, what? HackErIsTop, where are we? Ooh, he's stuck at home. He's stuck at home. This army is out of position. Ay, ay, ay. The Robo's going to go down. And Ashbringer, he's making this work. He may lose his own Robo, true, but again, he gets 3 pylons. 2 pylons here. There's a 3rd pylon further back. So 3 pylons, the Robo, a gateway. Ashbringer's in a better position. Behind this, going for another Robo back at home. Likewise, so is HackErIsTop. Both players rebuilding their Robos. Ashbringer's moving out with his own drop. Over the Tuna. Over the Tuna. Moving in. He does hit the mineral line. HackErIsTop late to respond. And he'll lose a couple of probes. Both players are expanding. Do we turn this into a regular game? Is that what's happening right now? Do we open up Proxy Robo versus Proxy Robo? We deflect each other and then somehow we just end up in a macro game? That's what's happening. Yes, Stargate for Ashbringer, Bay for HackErIsTop. Ooh, okay. So couple of things here. Has the Bay been scouted? It has. Okay, so Ashbringer, he scouts the Bay, even going for the Archosis pylon. Gets 1 more volley. Pylon goes down. Ashbringer does pull away. But he's aware of the Bay, which means he knows that Disruptors are going to be in production. Again, this is the Bay specifically for Disruptor production, or at least it should be. If it is for Disruptors, going Stargate into Phoenix would be a hard counter. Like, Phoenixes are a good response, a very strong response, I should say, to Disruptors. Observer first. There we go. Disruptors on the way. Cancel the Observer. And here comes the Phoenix. And again, we're making the Phoenix because Ashbringer scouted the Bay. He knows. He knows what's coming his way. So here come the Phoenixes. Ashbringer is making just a superior composition at the moment. Hallucination confirms that it is going to be Disruptors. There's a slim chance it would have been Colossus or something. Could have been something crazy, but no. He's going for the bait. Predictions broke. Do they not open up? Let's double check. I will double check. Try again. Yeah, predictions they didn't open. There we go. So my apologies, but if you're in the chat, if you tried to predict earlier, I do apologize, but predictions should now be open. So now you can gamble. So I just had to do it a couple of times. where the game is slowing down. I mean, at this state, when it comes to the game state here, I mean, Ashbringer, he is in a better position. He's got how many? He's got 5 Phoenixes already. He is moving out. Things are looking better here for Ashbringer. But it still comes down to the engage, right? On the one hand, sure, these Phoenixes, they could completely shut down the Robos, the Disruptors, the Immortals, the Robo Production, the Robo Units. Or we could see his opponent try to get a better angle. Speaking of, yeah, we just lived. Prism goes down, Immortals go down, Disruptors go down as well. Well, technically they go up. They do go up, and again, there's just not enough here. Ashbringer, he will overwhelm. Pieces do fall. Novas, up! They do take down the shields, but that's all they do. Yeah, just not enough Novas. There's not enough behind this either. There's not enough support. Water Mortal goes down. He's gonna get 2. Ashbringer, we gotta move in. There's some miscontrol here out of Ashbringer, but at the same time, he gets into the main. He gets into the main base. That's where the Prism was. Which means these Immortals are exposed. So Ashbringer, he cannot save these units. And it's going to be a messy fight for Ashbringer, but he gets the mineral line, he resets the army. And he should be able to keep warping in. GG gets called as Ashbringer takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Ashbringer takes the lead in the series. Again, a very intense game 1 as both players did open up with the exact same build, but they did execute in a slightly different way. In the end, Ashbringer was able to catch HackErIsTop out of position, was able to force some big reactions. If you remember, Ashbringer went for an earlier drop into the main base of HackErIsTop. Why was it earlier? Because he went with a singular Immortal and 2 Adepts, not with double Immortal. So he didn't wait for another Immortal, he went earlier than that instead. So he hit first, he forced a recall, which means the proxy was exposed, and Ashbringer just tore HackErIsTop apart. GG. GG, well played. The game somewhat stabilized when both players took their natural bases, true, but we saw another big divergence when we saw HackErIsTop getting scouted. When we saw him trying to make a Hail Mary play going into the Bay, going into Disruptors, but getting scattered immediately, and Ashbringer did respond correctly by going into his Phoenixes. So GG, well played. With that, Ashbringer does take the lead in the series, and now we're getting into game number 2. Getting into game 2, we're loading into Incorporeal. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Teal Protoss player, the Teal Protoss himself, representing Team StarCom, leading the series 1-0. It is Ashbringer. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Ukrainian random player, this time landing on Zerg. For her KGT team, it is HackErIsTop. We go. Whew. As we are settling into our next game. And we have a pull first opener out of our Zerg player. Now, as a reminder, for those who maybe haven't seen HackErIsTop before, he's a random player, but he does nothing but cheese. He does nothing but cheese, nothing but all-ins. Last game, that's why we saw the proxy Robo into an attempted one-base all-in. He was forced to expand, but that was not the initial plan. Here, similarly, pull gas delayed hatchery here. So this is a very aggressive build. Early gas income, early spawning pool means we can go for an early Roach Warren. So this can lead into early roaches, it can lead into early link speed, it can lead into early baneliness. We'll see when we pull out of gas, if at all. If he gets 100 gas and pulls out, maybe it's just a link flood. If he stays in gas, if he gets link speed, then we can see a baneliness. Otherwise, we can just go straight for the Warren. So link through production. Likewise, Ashbringer, he scouts with the probe, so he sees how late the hatchery is, so based on the timings, he's aware that something is wrong. He's aware that the gas and pool were earlier, and he will scout the Zerglings. He's going in for further scouts, and he will, not get further in. As we can see here, link speed is on the way, and we're still mining gas, so there's a high chance here that this is going to be a Bane bust. That this gas is going to be spent elsewhere. Speaking of, do we go for the Baneliness or the Roach one? There it is. The Baneliness is on the way. Here comes the Bane bust. Now, this could have been scattered, but as we saw, Ashbringer, he didn't get close enough to see whether or not the spawning pool was researching, and he didn't get to see whether or not there was still gas being mined. He was killed just barely out of vision, just barely out of range. So Ashbringer, he is working with incomplete information. For all he knows, there could be a Roachborn. Like, there could be Link Speed, or maybe only Link Speed, and then maybe HackErIsTop is droning from there. Ashbringer trying to piece it all together. So we have the Bane Bus being set up. Now, bearing in mind that we can see Ashbringer just reacting quite hard to this. He's throwing down shield batteries, more shield batteries, secondary pylons as well. He has a sentry, he has force fields available. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Ashbringer. He is looking heavily fortified, even getting another shield battery. And HackErIsTop, he actually shows his hand, he shows the Link Bane, and he drones. He drones up behind this, so bold move by HackErIsTop. He's trying to force an overreaction, but at the same time, it's an expensive overreaction because he did invest into the Bane Nest, he did invest into excess gas, he did invest and he did delay his own expansions, so there's a bit of a give and take here. On the one hand, we can see that, Jesus, Ashbringer, he's getting ready for an all-in that is no longer coming, true, but HackErIsTop, he delayed his own economy to get all this early tech and get all this early aggression. So now we're trying to stabilize, now we're trying to macro out of this. HackErIsTop has a ways to go. Ashbringer likewise has a ways to go as well, because this is, oh gee, he even got a fifth shield battery. Oh my god. 5 shield batteries. Like this was a big reaction, true. It was huge. And all these buildings, they're not really doing anything. They're not really worth it. So, this could have been an expansion. Could have been a third. All those shield batteries and the pylon could have been a third base. We could have been working towards 3 base saturation. We could have been teching up as well. So, again, it's going to be a bit of a weird game state coming into the mid game here. Just because our players are not where they otherwise would need to be. Or would be. I do like this move out, though. I do like this move out from Ashbringer. I mean, he has an army to work with. There's a high chance that HackErIsTop is droning, and he has been. He's building up a little bit of Link Bane. But with some solid force fields, Ashbringer, he should not lose this army. We'll see. So far, diving on the Queen. Queen is going down. Behind this, Ashbringer is taking up into Colossus on 2 bases. Still is yet to expand. Roachborn is now done. And Ashbringer, if he can snipe this base and recoil without losing anything, I mean, that will be worth it. Spots the roaches. Spot the roaches. Takes down the expansion. There's the recoil. There's the recoil back home. Looks like he might... Oh, he doesn't lose anything. Nice snipe here from Ashbringer. Able to make use of that army. Behind this, HackErIsTop is on 2 base saturation. Oh, he's taking up into Hydras. Okay, are we going into 2 base lurker? We've seen that before from HackErIsTop. Like, it has happened. Interesting. Attempted scout into the main. Cancels the Hydra and going for the Spire. We're a little bit indecisive, but okay. Going for the Spire. Meanwhile, we have 2 base Colossus. I mean, Muta's Spire tech would be amazing against 2 base Colossus if this was a little bit earlier, and if HackErIsTop actually had a 3 base economy. So currently, I give the edge to Ashbringer if he can engage before the Mutas really hit the field. Because the anti-air is very lackluster here for Ashbringer. Remember, he has no Stargates because there was no Stargate opener with Oracles. Likewise, there's no Twilight Council, there's no Blink. Twilight Council's on the way, but there's no guarantee that he will invest into Blink first. He might go charge. I mean, I say might. He's chroning out +1 armor. But he already has +1 attack. We'll see. We'll see if he goes charge or not. HackErIsTop, the Spire is finishing. He does have 1,000 gas. True. With a decent chunk of gas to invest. There it is, 10 meters on the way. Here comes the hallucination. And we're so close. Actually, looks like he already saw. But he may not have clicked. Yeah, he saw the building that was on the way, but I don't think he's fully aware. Otherwise, we would see a Stargate. And he's going charge first, not Blink. So no Blink Stalkers, no Phoenixes. The best he can hope for is Archons, but they're going to be so immobile, especially with all this Sim City, like all the buildings in the way. HackErIsTop, he can pop off. Way into the main. And now we have Stargates on the way. There's a reactive warp in. The probes are going to be going down. Gets a Stalker. Gets one, gets two. Yeah, he can just stand and fight. No shield batteries. Every Stalker is going down. And Ashbringer's all in. Ashbringer, he's being forced into an all-in. Back at home, what do we have to defend?
Game
as we do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. It looks like ping is spiking. But we do have the counter all-in. Now, back at home, we do have some Lings, a handful of Banelings, some Roaches. This army might be enough. It comes down to the force fields. You're looking at the units tab, we have three sentries. Force fields are going to be crucial in this fight. Remember, there's no Ravagers. True, there's no Ravagers. So if force fields can slice up the army, cut it in half, cut it into thirds even, and he can deal with a portion at a time, then maybe he can break into a base, get into a mineral line, and try to end the game, and force the mutas back home. That's maybe the best option here, the best chance for Ashbringer, but it all comes down to the engage, all comes down to the army control. When it comes to HackErIsTop, he doesn't really have the best army for this. As I mentioned, no Ravagers. Without Ravagers, force fields will have their way with this army, and HackErIsTop is going to have a really hard time engaging, unless Ashbringer does fumble the control. So we'll see. We shall see. Bathing speed is not going to be a factor. Not going to be a factor into this. Likewise, we have +1. Oh, likewise, we have +1 air attack, which also won't factor in. It might factor in when the mutas race back home, if they race back home. Here we go. But it looks like we're just waiting for the ping to die down a little bit here. Whew. Hi. But again, this is also a little bit on Ashbringer, because if you remember, he saw the Spire, but again, I don't think he clicked on it. He didn't, for sure. He didn't click on it, so he's not fully aware of what his hallucination did scout. Here we go. We're going in.
Resumed.
As Ashbringer, he is committing, and mutas, they are racing back home. Show us those force fields. How good are they going to be? I mean, mutas turning back around is going to be huge. Baneling's going to be rolling in. Force fields, they zone away some of the Banelings even. And they zone away some of the Roaches, but nah, HackErIsTop, he does collapse in. He breaks through, he gets on top of the army, cleans everything up, and he didn't even need the mutas, to be honest. Didn't even need them. And that was it. That was all that Ashbringer had. He had to take that fight. He had to overwhelm. Failed to do so. Back at home, I mean, he has cannons, true. 3 cannons even, okay. He's got 3 cannons. There's the energy overcharge on the shield battery. But the Archon goes down. Ashbringer, he is holding on. Oh, Phoenix, they pull back. Oh, true, we have all these shield batteries. True. Shield batteries kind of coming into play. Unfortunately, Ashbringer, he's out of position. The army needs to be here with all these shield batteries. Yeah, it did warp in the wrong location. Trying to come in from behind, from a flank. Again, he's out of range, and the Archon goes down. Massive pickup. Again, he's just out of range of the shield batteries. The Stalkers as well, they're being targeted. We even have the Queens coming in. And there's just no backwards in this army anymore. There's no more Archons. Of course, there's no Blink Stalkers. The Feast count is getting high. Okay. getting a decent chunk of Phoenixes. Can we pull this off? Overlords are rallied across the map. Miss rally here from HackErIsTop. He'll lose 3 Overlords. Won't be enough to supply block, but nice pickups nonetheless. I mean, actually, does supply block. And Ashbringer, can he stabilize? Now, thankfully for Ashbringer, HackErIsTop didn't join up his 4th. His 4th base, it didn't join up. He's just transferring over as he's running out of resources in the main. Now taking out Immutas into Hydras. Oh, that's such a large muted cloud, though. Phoenixes are keeping up. Okay. It's a muta. Random Ravagers being thrown away as well. Again, missed rally here from HackErIsTop, throwing away Overlords, throwing away Ravagers. With this low of economy, they're not cheap. So working towards Lurker Tech. In this. As our Zerg player here is going to be the first to max out, that is true, but that won't really matter if he can't really do anything with his maxed out army. A lot of supply right now is tied up in mutas, and if they can deny a base, this is going to be worth it. Likewise, Ashbringer, he needs to maintain control of this 4th, he needs to get it up and running. If he can get this 4th base up, then he can max out. You see HackErIsTop rotating over. He's got a couple of lunkers. Now these are going to be lair tech lurkers. The hive is not yet begun. Infestation bit just now finishing. So these lurkers aren't going to be ideal. Is maxed. Oh. Trying to have lurkers gets 1. Let's get the 1. But no storms. Yeah, no storm for Ashbringer. Despite that, he's going to be collapsing in. He goes for the mass lift even. Okay. Lifts up all the lurkers. Lurkers are being shut down. It's because some of the wilds do graze the army. Ashbringer, he trades as best he can. There's 1 lurker remaining. But also cleaned up. Okay, not a bad fight. Not a bad fight for Ashbringer, but HackErIsTop has 72 drones. He has 72 workers, he has an economy, he has a bank, so he can rebuild. He can rebuild, he can remax. His gas income is a little bit lacking, but there we go. We have 16 Hydras on the way. Hive is almost done. That was an impressive fight for Ashbringer, but it came at a cost. As he lost a lot of Archons, he lost his Immortals, he lost most of his Phoenixes. So he's got to do that again. He's got to do that again. Oh, going for the Dark Shrine. Interesting. Dark Shrine is on the way. I mean, that could work just because where are the spores? Because there was no Stargate opener, there was no need to defend against Oracles, so there is 0 spores out on the map. DTs could get damage done, but can Ashbringer survive to Dark Templar? What I mean by that is HackErIsTop, he's rebuilding his lurker army. This time there are only 3 Phoenixes, so trying to lift all the lurkers is not going to work. At least not nearly as well as it did previously. And side defense is on the way. At least only on some of these bases. I see. The Overseer in the main base actually sees an Arc Shrine. So HackErIsTop, he knows what's going on. He's getting ready for it. Throwing down all the site defense. Now DTs, they can still wreak havoc even if there is site defense in position. Depending on the amount of Dark Templar, then they can focus on the Spore and they can still overwhelm. These DTs are waddling in. There's no Overseers with the main army, so Ashbringer, he could even just attack the main army even as well. But right now he's going for the Mineral Lines, and yeah, there is detection. Still find some damage, okay. And again, I would love to see him just target down Hydras or target down Lurkers. But here we go, Overseers are finally going to be on the way. Main army moves in, HackErIsTop is out of position, he raced everything back home to defend. DTs, they get into the main. HackErIsTop, he's panicking. Once again, he F2s everything into the main base. Everything into the main. That was a lot of Dark Templar. You can see here 8. It was 8 Dark Templar. Didn't kill the expansion, but did kill. I mean, it allowed Ashbringer to kill an expansion. True. And hey, Ashbringer, he's catching up in supply. He's got 3 observers. He has to look after them. Ooh, pushing into a line of Lurkers. It's not going to be pretty. But where's the Lurker support? Yeah, the Immortals, they break through. The Immortals, they just break on through. Yeah, Mass Immortal will overwhelm. Again, Lurkers on their own, they're so fragile, they're so vulnerable. You need that Ling Bane or Hydra support or Roach Ravager. You need something to support them. Because without any buffer, Immortals, they just roll over Lurkers. The Lunkers, they do nothing. Oh no. But alas, not enough support. And now the Lings come in, but it's too little too late. Yeah, Lings are too little too late. And Ashbringer, he has done us a very impressive comeback. He was looking down and out. Things were looking dire for Ashbringer. He had a lower base count, he had a worse economy, but he persevered. Moves out across the map, he overwhelms, takes down the Mineral Line, the bases. Again, without any Lurkers, there's no chance for a defense. Ashbringer doesn't have the setup. Sorry, HackErIsTop doesn't have the setup. GG gets called, and Ashbringer, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, HackErIsTop. Oh, sorry, HackErIsTop? What? Ashbringer does claim the series 2-0 over HackErIsTop. Congratulations. Again, we saw that, yes, on the one hand, HackErIsTop, he got into Lurkers, but Lurkers, they do not fare well against a ground-based army, against a ground toss setup, unless they have that buffer, that support to make sure there's something to protect them against the Immortals, against the Colossus, against the Archons, against the mass Protoss army. We saw that we were lacking Ling Bane, we were lacking anything in front of said Lurkers, so they were vulnerable, and they went down real fast and real quick. GG. GG, well played with that. Ashbringer does advance on to the next round, and let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. GG. GG, well played. Let's head on over to the America server. Oh,